Started a Faceless YouTube channel over a year ago with one goal: to teach people how to use AI in their online businesses while generating passive income. The results have been nothing short of incredible. I've gained over 65,000 subscribers, amassed more than 2 million views. I got monetized about 5 weeks of posting my first video, and I've earned thousands of dollars from AdSense alone, not to mention other streams of income, all without showing my face. The best part, anyone can achieve this with the right strategy. In this beginner's course, I would show you how to start your own Faceless YouTube channel for entirely free. Before diving into the steps, there are key terminologies pertaining to YouTube you need to know about. The first would be niche. It's a specific topic or category that your channel focuses on, helping you to target specific audience in relation to that topic or in relation to that category. The next would be thumbnails. This is the image that represents your video on YouTube. It's the first thing viewers see, and it plays a crucial role on whether the viewers are going to click on the video or not. Next would be titles, which work hand in hand with thumbnails. This is the text that appears as the name of your video. A title is also as crucial as a thumbnail because it informs potential viewers what the video is about and it entices them to click. The next important key terminology would be CTR, which means click-through rate. This is the percentage of people who click on your video after seeing your thumbnail and your title. A higher CTR indicates that your title and your thumbnails are compelling, but a lower CTR indicates otherwise. You need to pay attention to that. The next would be watch time. This is the total amount of time people spend watching your videos. It's a key metric for the YouTube algorithm because if people spend more time watching your video, it signals to the algorithm that people like this video. The next important terminology would be retention rate. This is a percentage of a video that the viewers watch before clicking away. For instance, we have 100% and your viewers watch up to 50% before clicking away. It's better than having 10% before clicking away. Obviously, higher retention rates are better for your channel performance. The last three I talked about: your click-through rate, your watch time, your retention rate. These three key things are very important on how the YouTube algorithm is going to push your video when published. So pay attention to that. The next important terminology is CPM, which stands for cost per mille, which means cost per 1,000 impressions. In the context of YouTube, the CPM means the amount advertisers pay for 1,000 ad impressions on your videos. Higher CPM rates generally indicates that advertisers are willing to pay more to have their ads show alongside your content. CPM can vary based off of multiple factors. One being the type of content you're creating or the niche where your videos belong to, your audience in terms of the demographic, where they're located, what are their age, and it can also be affected by things like seasonality as well. The next would be RPM. So RPM stands for revenue per mille, which means revenue per 1,000 ad views. And this is essentially how much you earn per 1,000 ad views on your videos. Now we have talked about the important key terminologies in association with YouTube. It's also important to mention what are the tools you need to get started, because we can't just go into creating Faceless YouTube videos or any type of YouTube video at all without understanding what tools you actually need. You need hardwares like computer, microphone. We're talking more in depth about it. You need things like software, different of softwares. You need graphics and design for your thumbnails. You need music and sound effects, script writing and planning, things like keyword research and SEO. I've put together an extensive list of the different tools that you need under each of these category, as you could see in the checklist here. For you to be able to access this checklist, just visit my website, zinistudio.com, and you could come to resources. You would see freebies. And once you click on that here, you could be able to put in your name, your email, and you'll be able to get access to the checklist that I've prepared for this tutorial specifically. And also, you'll be able to see all the tools that you need to get started. I'll leave the link to my website in the description box. With that being said, the first step when it comes to creating your Faceless YouTube channel would be planning and research. And this is very critical because this is where niche identification comes into play. A lot of YouTube gurus would say that you need to identify your niche before you start. Some say you don't need to. You need to start creating videos and see what sticks and see what works. Personally, I feel like you can get stuck either way, but I think that you need to find an area of what you want to talk about that has a bit of an audience, that is not too specific, that is a bit broad. And when you start creating content within that specific area or niche, as you grow, you would see what works and then you can fine tune it. But there are specific niches on YouTube that are known to do well, and you can actually explore and start from those given niches. Some of them are AI at the moment. We have health and fitness, travel, finance and business, technology, education/tutorials, self-development, and motivation. Now I've established some of the key niches which you could look into. Use the YouTube platform to search and filter for the given areas which you are interested in. For this tutorial moving forward, we'll be combining the AI niche with education/tutorial. Type at the very top how to use Midjourney, because Midjourney is an AI tool for creating images. Here where you have your filter, and you could use this to your advantage. Use the word view count, and to be able to filter within the last 1 year or 2 years how these videos are doing. You can see this has 3.8 million, 2.4, and so on. You can see that these videos really did well in the past 1 year, and based on what I know, Midjourney as a keyword is still doing pretty well. When you look at some of these channels, you could open the channels and then view what the channel is about. So you could click into them and then decipher what the channel is doing. Is it the type of content you want to create? And then pick it up from there. Another thing you could do in the filters as well, instead of also the view count, you can reduce it to the last hour or this month or this year if you want to have more recent data. And then you can use other features as well to narrow down based off of what you are looking for. Another way to find out what is doing well would be to use a YouTube research tool like vidIQ, which gives you in-depth information on what is going on. You could use a link in the description box to get started essentially for free, so you could follow along in this particular course. If you look at the right-hand side of my YouTube panel, you could see that when we just typed in how to use Midjourney, it tells you the volume search, it tells you your competition that it's low. You could see the amount of views people get for that specific keywords. It's going to give you specific channel as well that covers these keywords, which you could dive in more. Then it gives you different other keyword opportunities related to how to use Midjourney that you can explore. It has over 227 keywords, and it will also show you related queries as well. Coming into the vidIQ platform itself, you could be able to search for specific keywords. For example, let's search for the word AI and see how it's doing. You could see that AI at the moment has over 5.7 million search volume. That means a lot of people are searching for the word AI alone on YouTube. But you could also see that the competition can be quite high, but the overall score is good. It's not going into the yellow or orange or red. There's still a lot of opportunities. If you look here, you could see different matching keywords. Green means that these have good opportunities. When it's in the yellow, it means that the competition is there, but you can still thrive. But if it's the orange or red, that means it's highly competitive. For example, let's look at another niche just to see how those niche is behaving. Type stoicism. This is another popular faceless YouTube channels that I see people making videos of. This is basically philosophy. In comparison with the AI keyword, you can see this is 2.59 million. It's a reasonable search volume. The competition is relatively high. The overall score is okay, but you can see that the related keywords here is all in the yellow, but you can also see that the search volume is not so much. Even if you decide to create a channel, for example, a stoicism philosophy channel, be rest assured that you have to do something to stand out within this niche. These are the ways you could use the vidIQ tool to find out different niches that is worth your time and that is worth your while. So you could use a link in the description box. It gets you started for entirely free. But if you need additional analytics to help you analyze, the link would also give you just $1 for your first 30 days for free, or you could also use the QR code showing on your screen at the moment, and it will give you access to all of these tools for essentially free for your first 30 days. After the planning and research phase, the next thing is to set up your YouTube channel. What you need to do is to create the Gmail account. Once you come into your account, you'll see that everything is basically empty because you haven't used the account yet. Click on the icon here and click on create a YouTube channel. It will ask you for your YouTube name, what is the handle, and you could select a picture. We're going to be using AI to give us ideas on our YouTube channel based off of what we want to create, and we'll be moving over to Canva to design our YouTube icon. Head over to ChatGPT. I'm using ChatGPT 4.0. The last video I did, people were saying that ChatGPT 4.0 is not free. I'm going to repeat this again. ChatGPT 4.0 is free if you don't see it in your account and you only see 3.5 and 4. This has not been rolled out to you yet. So please hold on. This will be rolled out to everyone with time. Come in here and I'm going to type, I'm creating a YouTube channel that will teach people how to use different AI tools. Can you suggest a name for the title? And I'm asking it as well to give me an image for the channel logo and if possible, a channel banner just to see what it's going to do. Hit enter and then we wait for this to generate. Looking at the names it suggested, is saying AI Toolbox, AI Unlocked, Master AI Tool, AI Guide Hub, AI Tool Mastery. Then we have the channel logo and concepts. Would you like for me to create visuals for it? We say yes. While it's doing that, if you look at these names, some of them are okay, some are not. You can use your name and AI, for example, AI Max, AI Jane, if that's what you want to do. But as for this particular one, we'll be using AI Academy. We just say AI Academy for our name. So generated this as an example. And this is some of the banners it generated, which is basic, but we're going to generate our icons by ourselves. Come over to Canva at the very search bar here. You type YouTube icon. I'll be using this. I will click customize this template, and then we would go ahead and get rid of this image. We can make the background black, and then we'll be putting an image of an avatar that I've created already. This is the image that I like to use. Drag the image into this space. Just make sure that it sits properly. Our channel icon is done. Go to share, go to download, and download it as it is without any transparent background. It will download to your computer. We already have our name, channel, logo. The last thing that we're going to do before we leave Canva would be we want to design our banner. Come to the home page again and type YouTube banner. Just click here. It's going to load a couple of templates. Just choose something simple, then modify from there. We can decide to use this and say customize. We will still going to add that image of our avatar here, then drag the image to this, put in the name of the channel and some subtitle. I went ahead to put in AI Academy. That's what we're using. I said subscribe for AI tutorials. I'm going to delete this and this because I don't want that. I'll be using a specific like spiral element that I found, and then we could put it at the back of this. So we could have this going through. Then you could send this backwards. Just make it look pretty. And that'll be it. Click on share, go to download, and then we'll go ahead and download. Go back to the channel. And here we're going to call it AI. We said we're going to call it AI Academy. One other thing that you need to take note of as well would be you need to check if this name is available on YouTube or somebody has used it. You need to take the name and search on YouTube itself and see if it's available or has somebody used it. Then you go to select picture. Then you can say from computer, we're going to upload. We go to my downloads. We're going to use what we have downloaded. And then say done. Then we'll go ahead to create a channel. Your channel has been created, but see that it's still blank. And the next thing we need to do is to do a bit of customization. Click here to upload an image icon as well. This takes you to your YouTube studio. Just click on continue. We are using this as well. It's asking you for the banner that we had just created. Click on upload. We're just going to upload that banner. Something that you need to note is when you are creating your banner, you need to make sure that everything sits within this box. Click done. Go ahead to publish. You could see how the banner looks like, and you could see how the logo turned out. So this is set to go, but we need to do some other customizations as well on your channel. Click on customize channel. It's going to open up to this page, which is also still part of your YouTube studio. And here, this is layout. This is basically once you start having content. So we'll leave this alone for now. This is branding where we just worked on. The next thing would be basic information. Here, you could go ahead to put in your name, handle, put in a bit of description. Just tell people what the channel is about. We tell people that this is a channel for learning how to use different AI tools. Go ahead and put in the description for your channel. Here, you're going to have links. If you have a TikTok account, Instagram account, you could add the links here. If you don't have them yet, you don't need to bother. You don't need to add any link here yet until you create those accounts. Then if you want people to contact you, you could add your email address here. And once you do that, you could publish. And the changes you have made would be able to appear on the front end of your account as well. You can see here the information I said. If you're interested in learning how to use AI tools, come to the right place, and so on and so forth. This is done. Let's come back to the customization again. Within the customization window, the next thing you need to do is to go to settings. If you want your currency for the channel to be in your local currency, you could come in here and choose your currency. Otherwise, leave it as US dollars. In terms of your channel, country of residency, select where you live. I live in Canada, so I'm going to leave this as it is. Go to advanced settings. On the advanced settings, here you could choose if your channel is meant for kids or not. Just say it's not meant for kids. And then if you have, for example, a Google AdSense account, you could link that here. Then if you want your channel to have automatic captioning, you could select that as well. And do not show potential inappropriate words. You could choose that. So disable interest-based ads. You could read this and choose if you want that. Allow viewers to clip your content, which means that once you post your videos, some of your viewers will be able to clip your content. If you want that, you could choose that here as well. So coming to the feature eligibility, the standard features is already enabled for you. For the intermediate features, you just click on this and verify your phone number. Once you do this, you'll be able to do the eligibility for the advanced feature as well. You could use either a video verification, a valid ID, or you can use the channel history. Since we don't have an history, you might have to use a valid ID for that. Remember to save once you're done. But the next thing before we save and close this dialog box is to go to upload defaults. For instance, if you want to have a default description, obviously your titles are going to change for every single video. You could put in that description here and it's automatically pastes within your video, and you could make changes. For example, you could have things like this if you have affiliate links in your videos, and this will be placed anytime you upload videos automatically at the base of your video. Then you could add other descriptions, which you would see subsequently in this tutorial. In terms of visibility, you need to choose visibility you want your videos to have anytime you upload them. So normally choose them as private because you don't want your videos to go straight to public. You want it to be private. You could check if there's any issues before you publish it. Here you could add specific keywords or tags specific to your content. For example, you can add this like AI tools. Since these are the things you're going to cover, like I showed you earlier using vidIQ, you could get those keywords and put it here. Then once you're done here, you go to advanced settings. Majority of the time I just leave this as it is. You could come to the language and choose your caption, make it English. Description language, we'll just make it English as well. Here you could choose to allow comments or disallow comments or hold comments depending on what you want. Some of the times I choose restrict, hold a broad range of potentially inappropriate comments. In case there's any inappropriate comments, it's not going to show up on your comment section. Leave these as it is. Then the next thing would be permissions. This is basically the owner of the channel. Then the next thing would be your community. Majority of the time I just leave this as it is because I don't have anything I want to basically maybe hide or give a moderator. Sometimes what I use is you could choose to block URLs if you want, and also if there are specific words that when people type into your community, it's going to block those words, like offensive words. You could put them here as well if that's what you want. And then here we have agreements. There's none for now. Once you have all the settings done, just click on save, and that will be applied to your channel and the settings is good to go. The channel is ready for us to start uploading our videos and content and start posting. But before we move on to the next step, which is actually to start creating content that would actually post. About 80% of people that watch my videos are not currently subscribed to the channel. I just want to kindly ask, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn on your bell notification to know anytime I post a new video. It helps me out a lot more than you know, and it helps me to continue creating this content that you're watching on this channel. Thank you so much. The next major step would be content creation, and within the content creation there are multiple sub steps that we need to take, and the first one will be script writing. Depending on the type of Faceless YouTube channel that you are creating, you could use ChatGPT 4.0 for free to get started with writing your script. But since we are focusing on creating an AI-based tutorial channel, we can use a combination of ChatGPT, but you have to write the tutorial steps yourself. For a bit of context from here going forward, this is the video we will replicate a couple of minutes of part of it, which is how to create an AI animated videos for your Faceless YouTube channel. To write some parts of the script, first of all, tell ChatGPT that we want it to serve as an experienced scriptwriter or engaging YouTube videos and hit enter. Then we could ask you to write an engaging introduction. We'll just use this for the intro of our video. We say write an engaging YouTube video intro on how to create animation video with AI for a faceless YouTube channel and hit enter. And then it's going to create an intro. It's important to mention that specifically that this introduction, you would have to modify it to be able to make this more engaging. When it comes to introduction, you need a bit of a hook to help your viewers watch past the introduction. We're using AI to help us in our workflow. We're not using AI to replace the workflow. The next thing you need to do is to copy this out. You could make modifications to this using any type of note-taking application. You can use Notepad, Word document. You could choose to use even Notion, the free Notion. I'll just show you a script that we'll be using that I've put together, how to create animation with AI. For this particular tutorial that we'll be recreating the beginning, first of all, what I've decided to do was to create like a trailer of the animation that I'll be creating within the tutorial. People can see what is possible. This is the script for the trailer, and here we'll be using the voice for the animation, or you can use your voice if this is what you want. And then here, this is really part of the tutorial where I said this is really good. In today's video, I'll be showing you step by step, and then I went all the way down, and this was the beginning of some parts of the body. In terms of the step by step, you need to write every step down by yourself. Once you have your script ready, the next couple of things you need to do would be to generate your video clip for your tutorial as well as the voiceover. I'm going to provide you with two options. You could decide which one you prefer. The first option would be for you to record this using your own voice, as well as a screen sharing tool that is free. For your voice, you need to get a microphone, which is not free, which is going to cost you a couple of dollars if that's the way you want to go. Then for recording your screen, what you need to do is go to my website, go to tools and gears. In the tools and gears section, I've put in all my favorite tools that I use, both AI tools and even the ones I use for my content creation. Come to the content creation area and click on OBS. This is a tool that I use for recording my screen, and it's entirely free. You click on download, it's going to take you to the OBS website, and then you could click on download installer, and then you could install it to your computer. Once you're done installing this to your computer, this is how it's going to look. I'm going to show you my OBS interface I'm using for this tutorial. It's going to look like this. Kindly ignore this because I'm showing you basically what I'm doing. What you're going to do is to put a display capture here. You could just add and choose a display capture and choose the screen you want to share. And basically, when you connect your microphone to your computer, you'll be able to have your mic behave like this as I'm speaking. I'm not going to go in depth on the settings of OBS. There are a lot of in-depth tutorials already on how to set your OBS up for screen recording. I'll leave those links in the description, or you could check it out yourself on YouTube as well. And that's the first step. The second step is if you want to create your voiceover using AI tool like 11 Labs together with OBS that I just showed you, what you need to do is to come to 11 Labs as well. You could also find the link here on my website as well. Come here and sign up for free. 11 Labs have a free plan, which is $0 forever, so you don't need to pay anything, or else you want to do something specific. But the free plan is enough because it gives you very realistic voices, and you could use this to create a numerous amount of videos. You could sign up for this, and then you would use 11 Labs to create your voiceover, and then go ahead to use OBS to record your screen, and then you would have to sync that voiceover with your screen recording, which we will do in the video editing section. Just to show you quickly how to do your voiceover, you come to your voiceover and it will be text to speech. Go to our script that we had written, and we'll just paste some parts of the script, and then we'll choose the voice. Here I'll just use my own voice, which I've already created, but you don't have to use this. You could choose any free voices that is available to you. For you to create your own voice, you would have to pay and train the AI to use your voice. You could use this, click on generate. It's going to generate that voice for you. And once it's done generating, you click on the download to download it to your computer, and then you could use it for your different parts of your tutorial. Those are the two options that are available. Once you're done generating your video content as well as the voiceover, depending on the method you choose, the next thing would be to bring all these clips, your video editing of your choice, and we can put all these things together. Before we go ahead to start putting our video clips together, it's important to note that you are creating a Faceless YouTube channel. There's so many things you need to do to keep your audience engaged. Things like creating your own avatar for the channel, not just to engage your audience, but also to build connection and build a community with your avatar. What you could do is, I have a video ready created on how to create a talking AI avatar. I will link that video in the description box or in the card above. It's important to mention that particular process requires you using paid tools, but if you want me to do a tutorial covering how to create your own avatar for entirely free, let me know in the comment section. Next step is the video creation process itself, and we'll be using CapCut for this. CapCut is free. You don't have to pay for this as well as you're getting started. Go ahead and bring in your clips that you're going to use. Bring in your voiceovers. Like you can see here, there are different voiceovers depending on the different clips that I've brought in. I've brought in my talking avatar for the first part of the introduction. I've brought in also music and sound effects that I'll be using to create this specific intro for this particular video. And how do we edit it? Once you bring these things in, you'll be putting them here on the timeline. You'll be dragging this one after the other on the timeline, and this is where we'll be creating or making some edits. First of all, we're going to put in the voiceover itself, which put in the trailer voiceover here, and based off of this voiceover, you would go ahead to put the different scenes based off of the trailer or based off of what you have recorded. The first scene has to do with this, so we have gone ahead to put this, and then go ahead to put the other images yourself. We are done adding the different clips on top of this. What I've done is to pull this down to each of the voiceover to make sure they align. Before we go ahead to do any other thing, we're just going to pull in the crashing water waves that I want to showcase to show that this is a beach. I have that here. You drag it to the base, and then go ahead. For you to cut in CapCut, you could use the key B on your keyboard, and it switches to this slice tool, and then you could click on it to cut it, and click on A to change it to the selection tool. Then you could select and delete the part of the video that you don't want. We could go ahead to reduce this a little bit because we don't want it to overshadow the voice of the narrator for this particular story. Then we need a background music. This particular background music will take it down. Again, make sure that this aligns. We'll be reducing the dead sound at the beginning of this clip. Just reduce it this way. And then we'll go ahead to click on B again to cut this, and A to select tool. We'll delete this. We're still going to reduce this a little bit as well. Just click and drag to reduce the audio. And then we'll go ahead, because I want this to fade out at the end. We'll just take this out from this dial button here, as well as this. We just take this layer backward and dial this in a little bit. This is good, but in terms of how the video is behaving, this is just basic because of the animation. What we want to do is we want to add a bit of transition to this part of the image. Go up here that says transitions, and you could come and choose all sorts of transitions for your video here. You could place them in between. When you look for pull in, you could put it in between the two videos, and then if you want to expand it, you could expand it like this. Let's just scrub through it. From here, it pulls into buyer. So that is what this does. Then here, choose that it faded black. We'll go in between, expand this a little bit. Let's scrub through. You could see how this is. You just go ahead and put in transitions where at the breaks where you feel that it's going to give the video a bit of an interesting vibe. Just go ahead and put in the remaining transitions. I'm done putting in the transitions. That makes reasonable sense for the transition of our story, and this is coming together. This looks really good already. Next, add captions to the video here so people could follow along the story that you are trying to tell. For you to do that, you go to text, go to auto caption, choose English and click on create. It will go ahead to generate auto caption and place it here. You could see it's just barely white. What you could do is do some couple of settings. Under basic, scroll down, choose this one if you prefer this, which is good. Then if you want to edit your caption, just come to captions here, and then you could change the words if some of the words are not correct. You could also put in some animation or effects on it if you want it to pop out instead of just showing this way. We could go to animations, and then under captions, you could choose what you want it to display as. You could use this just to show you an example. You click on this, and you could see how this is behaving. As the voiceover artist is talking, it's highlighting some of the key things she's saying in green. And then you could decide to increase it or reduce it depending on what you want. Take it down, and this would be good to go. To show you also how to add the AI avatar to do the really part of this video, let's just go back to import, and then we'll be importing our AI character. You might decide to put a transition between the trailer and this. Go back to transitions. I just use the pull-in. This is good. And then you could go ahead to make edits with your avatars. People have asked me several times, how do I get rid of this AI logo? There's several ways you could get rid of it depending on the video editor you're using. For CapCut, you could easily just click on this. If you don't want to get rid of this yourself, you could always increase the video. Once you place that, the AI watermark is gone, but you need to be sure that this sits properly, your avatar sits properly. Go ahead to make more edits to this. Once you're done with all your edits and everything looks okay, the next thing would be for you to export your video for us to upload it, which is the next step. You click on export, and it's going to ask you what's the name of the file, where do you want to store it, what type of resolution do you want? Do you want 4K? Do you want the audio? And go ahead and click on export, and it's going to be exported to the folder of your chosen, and then we are good to go.
In a world where the beach holds endless adventures, young Maya's heart races with excitement as she discovers a stranded talking starfish named Stella. With a promise of the sea's magic and a journey of courage ahead, Maya vows to return Stella to her ocean home. Together, they embark on a captivating quest, learning the true meaning of friendship and kindness. Dive into Maya and the starfish, where every wave whispers secrets and every grain of sand holds stories waiting to be told.
This is really good. In today's video, I'll be showing you step by step on how to create this type of AI animated stories for your Faceless YouTube channel. Buckle up because it's going to be an interesting ride. Let's get started. Once your video is ready, the next thing would be for us to upload the video, optimize it, add our titles and our thumbnail. What we need to do is let's just go back to the channel that we created. And the next thing would be for us to upload the videos. Click on create, and this is where it's going to ask you to drop a file. Once you select the file, it's going to upload and show up here. It's going to put in the title of the video file here. You would have to change the title. As you could see at the beginning when we are setting up our account, this is going to show up automatically. So we're going to push this down and add some other things to the video. Here would be how to create animation for Faceless YouTube channel. Go ahead to put in more information here as well. You go ahead and put in other information here. Another thing I like to put in as well would be timestamps of the video. For you to create timestamps is quite literally easy. The only thing you need to do is to put in the time for each of the steps in your tutorial. So for instance, you could just type in this and say introduction and they label all the steps in your tutorial. And once you publish this video, YouTube knows basically how to cut this up to represent the different timelines. The next thing would be the thumbnails. I'm just going to leave this as it is for now. We'll come back to it. Then the playlist. For the first time you would have a playlist. Click on new playlist, give it a title, how to videos with AI as you read. Put in a description if you want, then make this visible and then create, then say done. This will be created in your playlist. For the audience, it's not for kids. Paid promotion, this is your first video, it's not a paid promotion. Altered content, if you're using your voice, you just say no to this and that will be it. Automatic chapters, you should leave this as it is. Featured places, you could switch this off. Then you could go ahead and add some tags like the keywords you saw from vidIQ. You could add some keywords here. The language is English. Standard, leave this as it is. The category, we're just going to say education, and then here we're going to say how to. Then you choose where you are, and then before we click next, we need to do is to click upload our thumbnail. It's important to know that majority of the time thumbnails are created even before you start creating the video. That way you don't have an idea what that thumbnail will look like. But let's just head over to Canva and we'll just create a thumbnail quickly and then we'll upload it here. This is the thumbnail that I'll be using, and let me just quickly show you how I created it. Put in a new blank space. What you would do is, if you have a background, let me just detach this. You could just copy your background, then place it and set as background, and then you could go ahead to get like the character for your animation and put it one side. Here we have the starfish, we'll put it here, and then go ahead and then put in your title. Go to text, go to heading. We're going to make this big. You could change this to any color that you want. You could change this to white, and then you could go ahead and put in some bars That is how we're able to come up with this thumbnail. Now, for the thumbnails, there are a couple of things you need to pay attention to. It would be that sometimes you will need to go to a different niche entirely to get thumbnail inspiration. It's better for you to look for what is working and model your video thumbnails similar to what is working, because there's a reason why those thumbnails are working. Go to some channels, see what those thumbnails are, and see how to put your spin on it and don't copy it word for word as it is. Now that we have our thumbnail done, we'll just click on share, download PNG, and here we'll be choosing the first and say done, and then download. Go back to your account, and then we'll go to upload. I need to verify my phone number before I'm able to upload custom thumbnails. You could go ahead and do that, but once you do that, you could upload your thumbnails here. I will show you from my original account. You could come to your thumbnails. You could see this. You could click on, let me just change it. You could see how you upload it. Select that thumbnail. You could see here, it automatically changes the thumbnail, and then you could go ahead to save it. To continue the next steps, we're just going to use this as our cover. So the next thing will be you click on next, and then it will ask you to add a video element, meaning if you could add a subtitle. We have subtitle already. You can add an end screen or add a card. If you're already monetized, it's going to show you a step here for you to switch on monetization, but because this channel is not monetized, it's just going to go straight to checks. Click on next, and it has gone straight to checks, and then it says that there's no copyright issues. Go to next, and then make sure that this is private, and go ahead and save that video, and it will be saved as private. And then when you are ready to make it public, you just change this from private to public, and it's published to that specific channel. That is how to basically publish your videos and optimize it for the YouTube algorithm. The last step in this process that we'll be talking about for this tutorial will be monetization setup. There are different monetization setup you could have on YouTube depending on the level you are. Monetization process, I like to break them into 2 tiers. So the first tier is if you want to make money through fan funding, such as super chats, super thanks, channel memberships. YouTube has a lesser requirement for that. You need to have 500 subscribers, 3 valid public videos within the last 90 days, and you need to have 3,000 valid public watch hours in the past 1 year. So take note, is a rolling year. Or you have 3 million valid public shorts views in the last 90 days. That's for the first tier that unlocks things like super chat, super thanks, and channel memberships. But for you to have access to the YouTube Partner Program, you need to meet additional requirements. For that, you need to have 1,000 subscribers. You need to have 4,000 valid public watch hours in the last 12 months. Or you need to have 10 million valid public short views within the last 90 days. And that way, once you meet this requirement, it unlocks this particular tier. Affiliate marketing is whenever I make a certain video using a particular tool, and I say use the link in the description box. Anytime you use that tool and sign up, I get a bit of a kickback from that particular sign up. So this is when brands approach you and they decide to either pay you to mention them within the portion of your video or do a full tutorial covering a particular tool in the entire video, depending on what they want. We have covered quite a lot in this tutorial, but there's still a lot more to cover, like strategies to grow your YouTube channel, which would come in subsequent tutorials. If you would like to see that tutorial, let me know in the comment section. While you're at it, give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your bell notification to know when the next video goes live. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.